Hello, this is Wolf from Tesla Owners US. Now I'm with Tesla, and you heard about my Model Y. I had some problems with, actually in total 7 problems, and I created a ticket for that. You have to do it within 24 hours, and then it's about 2 weeks ago now, then they take the time to try to repair it, and you will be with us to see what's coming out of that.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
Hello, I'm sitting now in an Uber, so I talked to the guys from Tesla and how they could repair it. And let me go to the points what I had with them. So the first one, there were scratches all over the car, and they said they have some guy who is buffering everything out and can take care of the car. They do not do that for white cars. So there are scratches in the white cars, and you don't know that, but they don't do that for white cars. But they do that for me because we found them. And then I showed them the dents. I can show them here in the movie as well. So basically, there's a distortion in the reflection, then there's a dent. So they have a special dent guy. He's doing that as well. He can do that perfectly. They said they take care of that. Then they're looking at that hole in the wheel well. When you take that plastic cover off there is currently a kind of a foam, like a windows, what you use usually for windows to put the gaps there. And I said there should be a really kind of a filler in there so that there's no water intrusion there. They're looking at that one. They didn't hear about that gap there. Then the rear hatch, there is no sensor on it. That's true. There's a sensor on your Model X, but you can manually attach it, but you have to do it every time when there are different heights when you open something. So basically when you open your rear hatch, watch the height, because you might hit your rear hatch with something and you don't know it, because the car there's no sensor, the car will not stop. Then the driver's side door adjustment, they agreed to that. They tried to do adjustment, but it's difficult, because if the frame is in steel and the doors are in aluminium, then you have a problem there, because it's difficult to build that. I told him that the Chinese guys, they can build it much better, because there's no complaints about that. Maybe they have to tell it to Elon, so that the Chinese guys can do much better build as here in the US. And that was the driver's side door, the panel gaps there. They tried to adjust it, and I gave him some tips for that. Then the passenger side, there's an adjustment as well, but it's a little bit lesser than that. Then the rear hatch, they already tried to adjust it and did very well there in the rear hatch, but they have to do a more fine tuning there. And then the wheel covers, really, the wheel covers are creaking, and they did not notice that before for other cars. It sounds like there is pebbles or sand in there. That's how they're creaking when you're going slow. Basically, you don't need a sound for that car. You can use the wheel covers to do the creaking for that. And they're looking at that as well. They're exchanging it with another set of wheel covers, and we'll see what's coming out of that. And I will keep you updated with some news. I left the car over the weekend there. We're gonna go out for a weekend, coming back on Monday. I'm now in an Uber, and they give me an Uber voucher for the whole weekend, and I think $100 per day. That's very generous. I don't need it. I have enough Teslas to drive. Uber is also fuel cars. I don't like to use fuel cars. Then, you know what? We're gonna do it differently, and I'm gonna drive home with the Uber today, and then on Monday, when they have the car ready, my wife will drop me off there. That's all for the time being. and I'll keep you updated for the
It's
next
now 1 week later, or let's say 6.5 days later, and I brought my Tesla Model Y to a rework of what I have asked for. And there were 8 topics, and we go through those topics. But first, my wife will bring me to the service center, which is about 8 miles away from here. And then we will see what they are saying. I asked them if they have repaired everything and fixed everything. They said they have fixed everything what they think need to be fixed, and the remaining is Tesla specs. And now we're gonna wanna find out what Tesla specs is. Okay, we are now here, and I have to say they fixed everything to a very good condition. So all of the gaps, I still have to measure them, but they are, I think, all between 4 and 5 millimeter. All of the overhanging on this one, they repaired that. The hole here, it's supposed to be there for kind of a, let me say, breathing. The trunk, they fixed it as well, the trunk hatch, and it's still a little bit inwards, but I can accept it. Before it was almost twice as much. They polished the entire car. They took the dents out. You might see a little bit from it, but only if you are pushing over it, but they managed it to do that. So the car is now ready for getting clear bra on the car. And that's what we're gonna do, and probably, the wheel here, if you notice that and you open your window and you're driving with these wheel caps, what you notice there is the wheel caps will actually kind of crackling a little bit. And that's with every car, it doesn't matter which wheel cap. So I made a little joke, you don't need that slow noise from the speakers, you can use your wheel caps in order to do that. I have to find out, maybe I have to use some silicone around here so that they are not cracking anymore. They're probably, something like this. That's how it sounds. And I have to find out, they are getting anyway also wrapped. The silver on the wheel caps is getting wrapped. And I might do another tinting, I'm not sure about that. But the guy who took care of me, he was awesome. They charged up the car for me. He did everything well. Everything well. So now, why couldn't it be done from the factory? Well, I guess the situation was that the factory is just output, output, output. So in this case, I'm really pleasant surprised they did so well. And they did well and repaired everything. So if you are accepting the car as it is, you can take it like that. But I'm a quality guy. I'm seeing everything. And that's why I also get an expert with me. And they repaired everything. They also said that for white cars, they might not polish the cars before delivery. I can understand it because the scratches are really difficult to see. Yeah, I'm happy with the car and we can go home. Tomorrow I have another thing to do, and they did well. And I forgot my key cards. I installed 2 new key cards for me. I paid for that, sure, because there's a value for that, what you have to pay for the new 2 key cards. And then I have replacement key cards, and that's a good idea to have replacement key cards, because if you rent them out or give them to someone and they get lost, then you can at least tick them off, tick them out, and yeah. So, hey, I'm happy with this, and we do some little more on the cars, and I'll tell you that later. So, if you like that, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Everything about Model Y and the cool tricks. Oh, let me show you another cool trick. If you have a trailer hitch here, that's what I did. You can buy that at every Home Depot, and then you can pull that out super easily to install the trailer hitch there, because if you try to get it out with some leveling or screwdriver, you might be only damaging this, but that is much cooler. Okay, that was it, and see you next time.